Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to continue our series on the Dell PowerEdge R350 Server. In this video, we're going to specifically talk about VMware. Let's get going. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the Dell PowerEdge R350 Server. Do us a favor, if you find anything that helps you in this video, click that like and smash that subscribe. All right, well, let's hop in. This video is going to be specifically dedicated to VMware, specifically VMware ESXi. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to start by showing you the compatible versions of VMware ESXi. Then we're going to show you how to download the ISO file, which will actually keep a link in our description section. Then we're going to show you installation steps, step-by-step instructions on exactly how to install. Then we're going to show you how to actually access the web interface and show you how to assign a license key. So yes, there will be a lot going on in this video as a whole. So let's start off with the compatible versions of VMware ESXi. You have 7.0, and it does take all three different versions, and you have 8.0, and that's really what you got is 7.0 and 8.0. So those are the compatible versions of ESXi for your R350 server. So let's hop into all the fun install steps.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you guys how to install VMware ESXi. Specifically in this video, we're going to go ahead and install VMware ESXi 7.0. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a bootable USB drive. In order to do this, you need to go ahead and download the VMware ISO file from the description. If you want to go directly to the VMware ESXi website, you can go ahead and do that as well. And you'll have a little bit more options on what you want to download. But I will note that you may have to create an account before you can do this. So you can go ahead and just go to that link in the description. It'll automatically download that ISO file, and then it'll save you a trip from going to the VMware website. But once you go ahead and download that VMware ISO file, you want to go ahead and download a program called Rufus. Rufus is the program that we're going to use to create this bootable USB drive. And in order for us to boot into the VMware installation, we have to create this bootable USB drive. So once we've installed Rufus, you can go ahead and open the Rufus EXE file. It'll go ahead and bring up this window right here. So the first thing we want to make sure is that the USB drive that we want to turn into a bootable USB is selected under Device. Now what we want to do is click on Select, and then now we want to select the VMware ISO file. And then we can go ahead and click on Open, and then click on Start. So this warning will indicate that if you go ahead and proceed with this process, it will remove all the data that's on that drive. So if you're okay with that and are willing to proceed, you can go ahead and press on OK. And then this will go ahead and start that process of creating that bootable USB drive. So this may take a little bit of time. So we'll go ahead and fast forward through this. And then once it's done, we'll go ahead and eject the USB drive and then plug it into our server. And then we can go ahead and start that installation process. All right, so once we've plugged that USB drive in our server and we booted it up, we want to go ahead and press F11 during post so we can enter the boot manager. Once in boot manager, we want to go ahead and press one-shot UEFI boot menu. In here, we want to select our bootable USB drive. And then doing so will load us into that VMware ESXi installation. Loading into the installation itself will take a little bit of time, so we'll fast forward through this. But all it's going to take is a little bit of waiting. And once it's done loading, we will get a screen right here that will say, "Welcome to the VMware ESXi installation." But essentially what we want to do is just go ahead and click on Enter so we can go ahead and continue. Now we want to press F11 so we can accept the end user license agreement. Now it's going to scan for all available devices for us to actually install this onto. So at the very top, we have our device, which is actually a few drives that's configured in a RAID array via our PERT controller. So we're going to go ahead and select this. You'll then get a message that says that it may be containing existing data. As long as you're okay with possibly losing that data, go ahead and continue. We now want to select a keyboard layout. Now we want to create a password that we're going to use to log into the hypervisor. So this can be anything you want it to be. I just recommend you picking something that is not easy to guess so you can be secure. And then the final step is pressing F11 right here so we can actually install the hypervisor. Installing may take a little bit of time, so we'll fast forward through that, and then we will proceed. So once everything has been installed, we'll get a message right here that says installation complete, and that it has been successfully installed. So now what we want to do is we want to remove that USB drive that we put in there or any other type of installation media that you use to install this. And then we want to press enter so we can reboot our server. Once our server reboots, we will automatically boot back into VMware ESXi. And then we'll just give it a second while it boots fully. And once it's fully finished loading and booting into VMware ESXi, the way you can tell is that towards the middle of the screen, you will have two IP addresses. One will be a DHCP IP address, IPv4, and then the other will be static IPv6, right towards the middle of the center of the screen. And these are the IP addresses that you're going to use to actually enter into your web browser so you can log into the web interface. And the web interface is where the core functionality of the operating system lives. That is where you're going to go to create virtual machines and manage virtual machines. The actual piece of software that's running on the server, you can't really do a whole lot with it. You can view logs and adjust some settings, but that's about it. But if you want that full functionality of this hypervisor, you want to log into that web interface. You want to type in the IP address and use that password you set earlier. And that's how you can go ahead and get started. Later in the series, we'll show you how to create a virtual machine in VMware ESXi. Specifically, we'll be creating a Windows Server virtual machine. So if you're interested to see how to do that, go ahead and stay tuned towards the end of our series. And if you found this video useful, go ahead and leave a like and smash the subscribe. And if you're interested in buying a custom-built Dell, HP, Supermicro server, we got plenty in stock, and we'd be more than happy to hear what kind of configuration you're looking for. So if you're interested, email us at sales@cloudninjas.com. That is sales@cloudninjas.com.